Today we hear the story of a female barbarian forced to wear her merkin as a beard to fight. And 5 other beer movies, if that doesn't ring a bell for you.
Hold on to your merkin and let's check them out.
I'm John, and with me is Harrison. Welcome back to another Fast Five, where beer names meet movie ideas and nothing is off limits.
So we're going to scroll the Untapped feed, grab the weirdest beer as our friends are drinking, and spitball movie plots on the spot. It's chaotic, it's improvised, it's exactly what your Wednesday needs.
Yeah, this is where you find the kind of movie that Hollywood is too scared to make.
That's right.
Or legally can't make. We're not lawyers, but we'll leave that up to them.
That's right. I don't know any. All right. So we've got probably some absolute gems today. We'll dive into them in a minute. Beer names that'll be so wild they'll make you question reality. And certainly the brewery's marketing team.
And if that's not enough, we're throwing in your submissions as well.
Ooh.
We asked, you answered, and oh boy, did you deliver.
So buckle up, crack open a cold one, and let's get weird. Fast Five starts right now. Oh, wait. What's that, John? We need to stop for gas?
Oh, well, so we don't really need gas, but we also don't need ads on this podcast because let's be honest, you don't need another artisan shoelace subscription or blanket that doubles as a backpack. No, crack open a beer, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button, and let's keep things simple. Life is complicated enough.
Jeez Louise, it sure is. Exactly. No shoelace unboxing here, just us, some beer, and a whole lot of nonsense. Speaking of which, let's dive into last week's feature, No Plans from Goose Island. If you missed it, it's the kind of story that starts with a lazy Saturday and ends somewhere you definitely didn't expect. Buckle up, about to recap the map.
No Plans was my homage to Keanu Reeves.
It really was. As soon as you said Keanu, I was like, I'm in. Sign me up. Let's do this thing. But yeah, let's share our thoughts. I'll pass it to you, John. What do you got? And then I have a few.
So last Fast Five, I wrote down thoughts and they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
This time I didn't because I wanted to be authentic to my thoughts. So remembering No Plans, my immediate, I feel like everybody's been in a time in their life where they were like, man, I need to find some friends, especially if adults, right?
Yeah.
I need to find some friends. All I do is like go to Home Depot, stock up things to have a DIY project, don't begin it, go back to work. When's the last time we met up for a beer? Like,
I know
it's been a long time since I graduated from high school, and it feels like the memories of like, do you want to hang out this Saturday are farther away than my high school experience. So I like that we captured that moment in No Plans, but then also, like we often do, kind of turned it into a hyperbole where here's a man that has never had plans and never has plans, and kind of use that as a lesson, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah. It really evolved into a fun little movie, different than the monster mayhem ones we've done the couple weeks prior, which obviously we love, but it's good to do a No Plans, a joint resolution, a juicy bits, a banana whale, if you will, of a movie, which I got some of those vibes from this one. I had a couple thoughts, as you said, Keanu, perfect. It's hilarious that just was in our brains, and now he's hopefully, if you watched the last episode, you have an image of Keanu emerging
behind
from
the refrigerator,
a fridge in your brain, which is terrifying and ridiculous. But no, he's like, I don't know, I think he'd be perfect if this ever became a movie. Keanu would be the perfect person to play that role. No pressure, Keanu. So that was great. And in terms of like kind of a couple like deeper thoughts about it, I guess, as you were saying, it kind of celebrated the sidekick, if you will. Like so many movies are about the main character, obviously. But it was good to see what Lancelot was doing or what Robin was doing, or in this case, what Sean was doing, who's kind of at the start, maybe you feel like he doesn't have a life of his own, but that's the whole point of the movie is life's what you make it. But yeah, maybe it's a bit of a cautionary tale. There's that famous quote that's attributed to Socrates or Socrates, if you're really know how it was pronounced. You're super cool.
I was there.
I know Milani loved crates. That's all they had back then. It was very boring. No TV. So, and he said, an unexamined life is not worth living. So that's basically what we forced, or Keanu forced Sean to do, is kind of be like, what am I doing here? And in an attempt to like put some meaning in his life or look for meaning, he just discovered he'd already had it. So that's, but you have to kind of do that every once in a while. Take a step back and be like, where am I going? Is this making me happy? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Blah, blah. You know, imagine yourself being an 85-year-old person on a porch looking back. Are you crying? Tears of joy, tears of sadness. Like,
you're definitely crying.
Yeah, exactly. It hurts to sit and lie down, and stand. Certainly stand. But anyway, so I thought that's kind of my takeaway was Keanu kind of made him check himself, but he discovered like, no, I'm great. I'm just a part of this community. And as we maybe all know, I relearned this recently that like, I guess having a good community support system like really contributes to living longer. It's like a great thing to be able to feel like you can rely on your neighbors or your friends when you need someone to move a couch or do some Sean work around. So obviously super valuable, but yeah, again, different than the past couple we've done, but I do like these movies, and it makes you think, what if? And luckily Sean was right all along and gets to live for at least a little while longer.
I really like that kind of examination. I don't like, it's okay to live your life the way Sean did.
That's right.
But maybe the thing you have to do is convince yourself that it's okay to live that way. And in this case, Keanu was that, but I hadn't thought of it quite that way. And I think that makes this a really beautiful idea because, oh man, we're all going through it the last couple of weeks, and social media will help remind you of things that you don't have, whether it be friends or endless pools in the Italian Alps. So yeah, what's important? That's a good examination on that. We also got a little bit of feedback from one of our most celebrated listeners. I want to play on the podcast about no plans.
That's awesome. And again, you guys can call in. Please do that. There's a link online, Instagram. We'll throw it in our stories and leave a message as well for us. So let's hear this week's.
Hey guys, John Harrison. This is Brian Davis calling in. I was super happy to be able to get in. No plans this morning. I'm on my way into work for 3 consecutive double shifts. So I got all the way through it today. Great movie idea. It hit me like kind of in the feels the same way Banana Whale did back in the first feature. Keep it up, guys. Keep waiting for more. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.
Awesome message.
Yes.
Harrison, are you thinking that Brian has a banana whale?
Oh, so, not to toot our horn too loud, but this art that we're making, John, these features, it is always kind of, in the eye of the beholder or the listener or the viewer or whatever. Like, what stands out to you is all about you and your life. So, anytime someone brings up banana whale, I smile and go, do you have a banana whale of your own? I wonder why that movie struck you so. As we've both said, most people probably do. Maybe we do. Who knows?
Not gonna say if I do here.
Not our wives. But yeah. So yes, maybe he does. But that was a cool note, and great that he also kind of saw that a parallel or felt a similar way to No Plans and Banana Whale as he did Banana Whale, which is still, the banana whale of our features.
It is the banana whale of our current feature films so far for me. Now I was thinking about banana whales and Dump Truck of Doom and that girl from the one with Juicy Bits. It's all crashing down on me.
It always is.
But thank you, Brian, for calling and sharing, and also thank you for working 3 back-to-back
Oh,
doubles.
my gosh.
Good night.
That's right. Brian's building the world. Doubles at 3 doubles at a time. Yes, but thank you for the feedback. Thank you for listening. I agree. This one kind of stuck up on me as being a real feel-good movie. And it's always good to have a second chance. Even cooler when Keanu Reeves is in your kitchen, giving it to you. So yeah, this will be fun. And Keanu, we'll hit you up, see when you're free after John Wick 7 or whatever. Maybe we can make this thing. All right. So enough looking back. It's time to move forward. And what better way to do that than with a cold beer ready to take center stage?
I couldn't agree more. And I know Harrison is incredibly excited about the beer we're going to drink for this episode. So please allow me to crack it open while Harrison walks us through Sierra. I don't want to say it. I can't. You deserve to say it, Harrison.
All right. So we are drinking the beer. Hopefully everyone's drinking who likes beer this time of year. Sierra Nevada's Celebration Ale. It's sweating in our hands because it's 80 degrees in North Carolina in November. But this is one of our favorites. Comes out every kind of around Halloween. But John and I have consumed this on multiple podcasts now. And we're doing it again tonight. But it's a fresh hop IPA from Sierra Nevada, 6.8% ABV, 65 IBUs. Freshly picked hops, rushed from farm to brewery. Fill Celebration IPA with powerful citrus and pine flavors. When you're on the slopes with friends or building a backyard campfire with a family, eat a beer as fresh as fallen snow. Pure hops, balanced with rich caramel malt. Make this a celebration in every sip. It truly is. It's one of my favorite beers of all time. And it's back. So now we get to consume it, a lot of it, before it's gone again. But yeah, delicious. Another fresh hop beer. We've done 2 of those now.
Yeah, if you're curious about fresh hops, go back and listen to Fast Five number 18, where Harrison explained them quite sufficiently to get the ball rolling. And to compare this with the deeper cut that we had from Edmund's Oast, 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
When you said caramel malt, I realized what was happening as I took a sip of this. It's different every year.
Yeah.
It's limited every year, which allows me to say I have to consume as much as possible.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because it's going to be gone. And it's like, if you you can sit and savor this. It's like a Cabernet. Like there's layers to this shit. And it's more than just a beer. It's, I think, both of our favorites. I don't know if Harrison would even be with us anymore if it wasn't for Celebration.
That's right.
Over the last couple of years.
Might not have made it. That's right. Through those holiday months. Easily, again, one of my favorites. It's amazing this year. Super piney, super bitter, which is how I like it. So very happy with it, which means I'll be, almost done with case number 1. So gotta keep going, John. And we might finish case number 1 tonight together. Yeah, good stuff, Sierra Nevada. Once again, you crushed it. So we'll be enjoying this tonight. But as always, this is not the beer we're going to use to make a movie, although we may see it checked in a bunch. This is just the beer we're using to power us through making movies. So we'll get to all that stuff right now.
And speaking of right now, look, folks, while you got a second, Harrison works way too hard to keep our social media game strong. And I think it is. So if you can, do us a favor, follow Beer Me That Movie, tag us in your favorite beers. You can comment on one of Harrison's many posts he does throughout the week. It makes him feel seen. And honestly, as a father, employee, and husband, I think he needs that. And if typing is too much effort, you can actually leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie. Send us your voice. Find the link on the website, on our socials. We'd love to hear from you. And who knows, you might just end up on the show like Brian did a moment ago.
Heck yeah. Speaking of which, we've got a favorite one here queued up. One of those listener submitted beers to be the first beer of Fast Five number 19. So let's shift into the Fast Five. Okay, we love that sound of American-made engine, John. The revving of The wet hot heat of an American made.
Definitely. I know exactly what engine that is from the sound of it. Of course, I'm sure you all do.
We all do.
Yep. It's an inline 6 for sure. Can't miss it with those overhead cams, you see. So we mentioned that Harrison does our social media. We asked for your beer submissions, and we got a few from Harrison's last post.
Yes,
so rather than
a ton.
Like, it seems one day I think maybe I want to do an entirely user generated Fast Five, but like some of them, I'm not gonna lie. Some like, thank you, Greg. But we looked at Jaguar Shark, and because this is our podcast, I was like, Harrison, I don't know what I'm going to do with Jaguar Shark. So we got, thank you for the submission. You're keeping us on our toes, but I'm going to take the easy mode, and I'm going to pick a beer for our user submitted beer from Daniel B.
Cool.
This one is made by Tripping Animals. He submitted it on Instagram, and the beer is called Peter Panda.
Peter Panda.
Duh.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. Love Tripping Animals. And yes, thank you, Greg. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody else that submitted stuff. But these two kind of floated to the top. But we're going to zero in on Peter Panda now. Tripping Animals makes a lot of great beer. A lot of, as you may imagine, animal-themed beer. Peter Panda is one of their crazy stouts. Peter Pan,
That's the best. It's just Peter Pan told through the eyes of a 14-year-old girl in the 90s.
You don't know about Peter Pan?
What do you dress like that for, Bethany? Peter Pan, dude. Finn, we'll see you at Sundance.
Movie. That's right. The origin story of Bethany then becomes some
Tinkerbell?
Okay, I was going to go villain origin story, but that's fine. Maybe Tinkerbell has a grudge we don't know about. Okay.
Tinkerbell's nemesis. Actually, that's a movie that'll probably exist. They could just redo Black Swan with Natalie Portman and the other girl.
Natalie Portman? Natalie Portman?
Other Natalie Portman. Actually, it turned into like Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Save money on casting, have Natalie Portman play both roles.
Did she get paid twice for that, do you think? Double paychecks? She should have.
What? No, there was a different girl in it, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I think it's a girl from the 70s show. Mila
that's
Kunis.
Right, she was.
Mila Kunis.
But she also kind of saw herself as two things, didn't she?
Yeah, in my head, that movie's Fight Club for women.
That movie, exactly.
Yeah.
It's Fight Club for women. Woo! That's a good take on that, John.
Thanks.
We should explore that maybe in another video form of entertainment. Maybe we'll do someday. Who knows?
Good idea.
A lot of those floating around here. Okay. All right. So Peter Panda. Do you have any ideas for this?
Of course. Let's go. I've got loads of ideas. So Peter Panda could be the story of an action figure company that can't get the rights to make Peter Pan.
Okay.
Because Disney won't license it to them because their action figures are pretty cheaply made and look horrific.
Yep.
So they just remake it all as like Peter Panda and Corporal Hook and
okay, off-brand.
And,
the Aldi version.
The Misplaced Boys.
That's amazing.
With the name Peter Panda, right? There's a play in Peter Pan and Panda.
Yeah.
So my thought is somehow this is a movie where it's like Peter Pan, but for bears.
Yes. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm excited and terrified.
It's a maybe as animated or some version of that where you've got like a family of little bears and the kids having trouble sleeping. So mom tells them the story of Peter Panda, this magical panda from the magical lands across the waters that'll come over here someday, because all bears are meant to be pandas.
I get it.
Declaratively.
Right.
In this world.
I see.
So if you're a good boy and you do all your chores, Peter Panda will come bless you and turn you into a panda bear.
Fly into your cave at night and give you a magical bamboo stick.
Yeah, this has got some sort of legs. Yeah.
Yes, I love this idea because so every bear dreams to be a panda bear, and Peter Panda can fly.
Love this.
He's a hybrid. He's like a Peter Pan meets Santa Claus of the bear world. who grants wishes with his magical bamboo, and and holding it makes you fly. And so this would be an amazing. I don't know how we do it, almost like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type thing, where maybe it does start animated and that enters the real world, a bunch of flying monstrous bears hooked on a dream with now the ability to fly. You just see humans is in the way. So this could be like a terrifying movie. It starts out as a lovely.
Oh, I like this. I like
tale,
the.
but then we've given bears the most terrifying thing on the planet already, the ability to fly. Humanity is gone,
and they are
weekend.
Bears,
right?
Like, there's no human in the world that's going to stand up to a bear. Even a mid bear,
right? No way
is going to unseat The Rock or John Cena as the strongest.
Just has to
fighter.
fall down on top of them. Doesn't have to use
Game
their claws.
Over. You might get poked by
bear.
a claw in accident and
right,
die.
Exactly. They're just tombstoning people from the sky. That would be amazing, terrifying world to live in, but hilarious to see it unfold in a movie. Kind of has Sharknado vibes, but this is just Peter Panda.
Peter Panda is different. It's bears, not sharks.
They're
first
gangs of bears led by Peter Panda.
Like he whistles his band, the flute,
right?
And the bears come swarming. Maybe there's a grudge. We could turn this into maybe like an environmental or climate sort of where it starts. I love the idea that it starts like really bright colors and fairy tale-esque, and then once the bears make the transition, it's like bears are hunting. Like we're just salmon in the river of Detroit for these bears to fly in
and murder us all
and eat their fill.
This is the evil corporate guy with his huge saw machines racing through the forest.
The guy who does Jimmy John's. Yeah. He's Captain Hook.
Right, just chopping down trees.
Making bad sandwiches.
Oh my gosh. Right, to plant his sandwich bread farms. I don't know what he's using the land for, but it doesn't matter. It displacing all these bears who, again, turn to Peter Panda, and then they attack all the humans. I mean, that would be... It would fill some seats, I think. Flying bears. We're not ready. We're not. No one's ready for that. There's no prepper in a garage somewhere. I mean, maybe they are ready for flying bears.
They're not expecting flying bears.
Yeah, no one's got that on
They
the
might
list.
get lucky for a while.
You're right.
I think humans will hold out. Every Hollywood movie has taught me that a few of us will make it. But
maybe befriend the bears, learn to speak bear, capture Peter Panda. We could go a bunch of different ways. Wow. And be a metaphor for all kinds of things. While also being just an amazing time seeing a flying bear land in the penthouse of evil McEvilstein, and he gets his head chopped off by a flying bear.
Like Big Game Hunter.
Exactly. Okay, there you go. A bunch of bear heads on the wall, and then one of them moves, and it's the flying Peter Panda.
I don't remember getting a panda.
What in the world? How'd you get up here? And then 10 more fly up like the Avengers and land on his deck.
The Lost Bears.
Oh my gosh. This is 12 movies. This is a huge franchise.
Yeah.
No one is capitalizing on. Way better even than Ninja Turtles, but similar to Kangaroo. But now we have flying bears.
Giving the bears more power. But I think as long as we the bear's biggest enemy is man, but it doesn't have to be all man, because then it would just be purely like a terrifying monster movie.
Right.
So, 3-part series.
It's Planet of the Apes with flying bears, which is way scarier.
Yeah, and they're sentient, like they're controlled by Peter Panda.
Maybe that's it, right? You give up the ability to fly, but you have to kind of do whatever Peter Panda says.
What would Tinkerbell be? Would Tinkerbell in this universe be like a magic talking salmon?
Wombat?
Or,
okay.
Like probably not a
salmon would be pretty tempting. Yes.
Oops, Tinkerbell.
You're right. Sorry,
our consigliere is now dead.
No one else can fly, including us. Maybe that's how they defeat them, right? They take out the small flying raccoon or whatever it is that's helping them. That's
I like raccoon. Raccoon is like an urban bear,
right? A trash panda, if you will. Oh my gosh. I mean, I love this. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the movie is. I guess we kind of laid it out, but do we follow this small band of humans? Do we follow the bears? A little bit of both. There's a lot to unpack there, but a promising start with Peter Panda. Thank you, Daniel. Holy crow. That went, that's going places, that movie, I think.
Yeah, we probably could have done Jaguar Shark almost the same exact
I was going to say, that's definitely a genetically engineered shark jaguar, a jaguar that can breathe underwater, a shark that can climb trees. Maybe it's both. I don't know what it looks like.
It's a land shark. Hopefully we don't come across that beer in the Fast Five tonight.
We'll have to make it.
So thanks to everyone that submitted a beer. Please keep it coming. It keeps us on our toes. For the rest of the Fast Five, we're going to be going straight to what are you drinking right now via Untapped.
All right, let's go check it out.
Let's see what we got for beer number 2. So for beer number 2, this one comes from Seth, and it's made by Little House Brewing Company.
Nice.
And the name is half the reason I'm excited to talk about this. This beer is called Gimme the Garbage.
Accent alert.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Perfect. Beer me that movie. It's got a built-in accent.
I don't know what. Well, it should be some Bostonian one probably, but
get your hands down and give me the garbage.
We'll see what
Why
it
are his
becomes.
hands up? I don't know.
Yeah, right. You're right. What's he holding? Okay. So why are people going through the garbage? What are they looking for is my first thought when I look at this. And it'd have to be something valuable to be digging through people's garbage. So what if here's my off the cuff premise, and we'll see where this goes, John. But something like an old woman loses a ring, a necklace, something valuable in the garbage, throws away by accident, and puts out like $1 million reward for whoever finds her ring, her most precious thing. And so the movie is people dumpster diving, digging through their neighbor's garbage, trying to break into the dump. That's not a whole plot yet. It could follow, little Jimmy. They spells his name with a G.
Jimmy fell in the garbage.
Jimmy the garbage. And then I got a weird ending, but let's see what you have to take us the next way, John. The next couple steps.
Well, okay, so I like the idea. I like the name. Gimme the garbage. It's just fun to say.
It is.
It's not like New York coffee.
No
garbage. It's more. What is that? More New England.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Boston, but
not quite.
I'm gonna slip into all those. But anyways,
kind of in the middle.
Point 1. It wouldn't be a ring that she lost. It'd be a necklace.
Okay. Perfect.
More accentizing. And
good.
So I think if we add some plot to this, like there's a good reason that people are going to be like, people would be fighting over this garbage. There's $1 million reward if I find this necklace.
Exactly.
So what we're looking for is maybe 1 or 2 guys that are fighting over this, the heaviest. There are probably our main characters in the film, but then this old lady has a very eligible daughter.
Oh.
And I think somehow in this movie, the real prize is the daughter. Like she's going to give away $1 million. The daughter's worth as much as the mom is worth.
Right.
Like it's an estate, but maybe we're not after the daughter's money. We're after the daughter's love. So there could be like maybe a kid that went to high school or college with her is like, I need to find this necklace because I need to get back in touch with her.
Yes,
she's my banana whale.
She's my banana whale.
And then everyone's bringing him the garbage.
Right.
Find your banana whale. Here's the garbage.
Right. Everyone's helping out sad little Jimmy with his second chance. This is great. Right. And yeah, he just loves this girl, blah, blah, blah. And she comes to him. Can you help my grandma? It would mean so much to her if you helped. And he's like, yeah, totally. How much? $1 million. Okay. How about a date? Sure, if you find the ring, whatever. We can have fun with that. The necklace.
There you go. Get in the character.
Right. But yes, this is great. It has a vibe of a Tommy Boy type 90s kind of comedy thing to it. At least that's what I'm seeing already. Which those movies are always fun, and that could be that we can hack 90 minutes out of or 60 minutes out of just funny things that happen digging through people's garbage. And the twists and turns and dead ends that they hit until eventually, we get to our conclusion, which is how they're finding the ring, finding love, or the necklace, maybe both, maybe something else. My original joke was maybe Jimmy with a G gets consumed by the garbage and becomes the garbage monster, but we don't need to make this and turns himself over on
a
the
sexy
town.
nun lost her crucifix in the garbage.
Right. Yeah, he uncovers, looking for a ring, but opens up an ancient chest.
It's upside down. Oh no!
And awakens a demon. That could always go that way, but no, I think we should stick with more of a kind of classic rom-com type thing for this with Gimme the Garbage. And obviously we'll figure out all the rest if this becomes the feature, but I like where we're starting. It's fun. We've got an inciting incident. We've got some characters, some action, a mission. Really all we need.
Yeah, I think that's good enough to call that a viable option for our second beer. And I love the built-in accent.
I always do.
Let's see if we can find our third favorite for tonight. This one might be tough, but it's got a great name. So thank you, Austin, for checking in Walnut River Brewing's Warbeard. Warbeard. It's a perfect name for any AMC miniseries about Vikings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's not Beer Me That miniseries.
It's not.
At least not in season 1. So a movie called Warbeard, and then I think of like William Wallace and what was that one that everyone loves?
William Wallace, that's the one. Eric the Red. I don't know how many William Wallaces. Right.
Braveheart. Freedom. You can't take my freedom.
That's right.
Braveheart. Thank you.
Braveheart.
Yep. Gibson.
Not enough beard.
No, really. That wasn't, but
Ridiculous.
that's what and it's hard to beer me that movie a war movie because so much of those movies are just reliant on sword noises and action.
Sure.
And then there's like 15 minutes of plot mixed in there too.
Right.
For us, we generally have to rely on plot because this is a movie idea made up on the fly and told via podcast.
Right. We can't just take a hill and have 90 minutes of people dying to take a hill.
So they're going up. They're still going up the hill. And then that one guy we saw earlier with the axe, he pulls the axe out now.
Yep, right. And turns into a guitar.
And then remember the other two guys we were talking about? No one knows their names.
They're dead.
It's like my wife watching Game of Thrones with me, and she loves Tyrion because he's memorable, but everyone else is like, I think he was a Lannister. Yep. Maybe it was one of the Starks.
Yep.
No, babe, that's the Mountain you're talking about. He's not a Stark.
No way. The Mountain. Okay. So yeah, this has to be some kind of Viking movie, but how can we beer me that movie? It's
beautiful.
What do you got, John? Do you have anything?
So I think all the Vikings that were part of the war bands had to have a beard.
Had to.
There was how people would identify you as like, you're not a blacksmith. You have a beard. Exactly. You go to war, so you don't have to work in the winter or whatever. It was like wearing a Nike hat.
Yeah. Right.
To let people know I'm in management. I don't work. So you had to have a beard, and in this movie, there's a woman that wants to be part of this war band, but you have to have a beard. And I think the Vikings actually did have shield maidens, so these aren't Vikings; these are barbarians.
Got it.
But they're still in the cold, and she wants to be a warrior. She hasn't taken a husband. No. But she can't be a warrior, and she's even trying. She's like, God, I wish my mom was super Italian so I could have a little bit. But nothing's coming through. And then one night, as she's getting ready for bed, she lives in a cozy little hut. Like mud hut.
Yep.
But it still gets cold as hell.
For sure.
Like you grow all the hair that you can, but even sometimes you supplement. So these barbarians would often have, I think the technical term is merkin.
It is the technical term.
Which is like a wig for your pubic area.
That's it.
And it might be to keep you warm. It might be fashionable, but
a little bit of both.
As she's getting ready for bed, she's like, oh my God.
Wait a second. Looks at a puddle of mud because there's no mirrors for your reflection. She's like, wait a second. If I move that up here, I could be a man. My war beard.
So she just has to get a little creative with a primitive form of glue or paste to glue her vagina beard onto
her face.
Cut a little hole. Maybe there's a hole in it. Cut a mouth hole.
Sure.
Specifically a mouth hole. Which again, maybe there was. I don't know. Like cunnilingus. God bless you, barbarians. And then, muck up her hair, cut it up, put some dirt on her face, maybe rock a couple of push-ups and get an axe. And then like go out into the woods for a few days and stumble into town like she's like a lost barbarian.
Right.
Ready to battle. I'm ready to join the war team.
Work on a Nick Nolte voice in the woods. It's eating rocks, getting ready, prepared to pretend to be a man barbarian so you can fight and maybe it is. I mean, this is ridiculous, but amazing. Like maybe her husband died, so she was outcast, but she still has his gear, so that's where she gets
nice touch.
The stuff. And maybe it's as simple as like warriors that return to war are celebrated in the village, or are, like she's like alone and lonely, and her motivation is like, if I can prove myself to the tribe, then I'll be welcome back. But I can't do that because I'm not a man. Oh wait, look at my cool Merkin in the muddy Palo moonlight. It could be great as a beard. And then just so this we could make a real movie out of this.
She comes in from the woods with like the thickest, most beautiful beard anyone's ever seen.
Yep.
She's already got the axe and some armor from her deceased husband.
Yep.
And this is it. This is her capturing her dream.
Right. This is Mulan in Barbarian times. This is amazing. And an X-rated version of Mulan.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably demonstrate it tastefully. Her in the moonlight and the puddle. It doesn't have to be full on. Like here's how. Like it's a tasteful film.
Sure, right.
But maybe shot artistically.
It was cold. It was necessary.
As she's like killing guys, like her signature move is to just smash her beard into their face and suffocate them.
Warbeard. Like, that's why her name's Warbeard. She headbutts people to death with her Merkin face. Because she's not very well trained with a sword, but she's great at headbutting. I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, her beard is like Gandalf coming over that mountain. When the enemy combatants see it, they're just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die!"
It's Warbeard.
That beard is too much.
Covered in blood. From
Once a month, whether we've been to war or not. Damn.
It's all natural.
Somewhere there's an inciting incident. One of her commanders or something sees her bare face and putting the beard
the beard falls down.
Something like this has to happen. So
you got to make a decision.
It can't turn into a love story, but because it's Warbeard, not
Warbeard.
Lovebeard.
Yeah, that's different.
She turned her Lovebeard into a Warbeard.
Woo! Oh man, yes. We can figure out the ending.
Why is your Warbeard all sticky and clumped together? Is that how we got those free horses?
Don't ask, just take the horses.
Warbeard provides.
That's right. The Warbeard is multifaceted. Okay, this is amazing. This is the kind of hidden history they don't make movies about.
Women have been written out of history for the entirety of it. It's time we start putting them back in.
Telling that story.
And also preemptively apologize.
Warbeard's a great place to start.
Yeah, there's some room there for Warbeard. I think typical number 3, we're hitting our sweet spot.
Hitting our Warbeard.
God, let's see what's coming up next. All right, for beer number 4, we're actually going to feature one from Sierra Nevada, but not Celebration, which maybe is possible, but it's against the norm, if not the rules. So
right.
This one is checked in by Kane, and it's called Flipside.
Ooh, yes, great beer.
Oh, you've had this before? I'm kidding. Yeah.
Okay. Flipside.
Easy couple of first thoughts. Skateboard movie, surf movie
about flipping burgers.
Ooh, I love cheeseburgers, Harrison. They're so good.
They are the best. This is my favorite job, is being a line cook, or a fry cook, just flipping burgers all day.
One for you, one for me.
That's right. 900 pounds, but it was great.
I don't have any days off, but I don't have many days left.
That's right. I'm not eating the food. No, why would you think that? Exactly right. I need bigger pants, by the way, and a bigger work shirt.
All right, I'm gonna go take lunch.
Do you have one that made by Bobo the tent maker? Okay, so flip side. So let's throw all those out. What else could we do with this thing?
I mean, it kind of makes me think of like the Upside Down
Sure.
and Stranger Things,
Yeah, I had
and
that thought too.
it's a little Beer Me That movie where like initially I think like I'm going grocery shopping and I get up to the checkout register and the person's like, "Oh, can I see your ID?" And I look down in my wallet, I pick my head up, and I'm in like a totally different grocery store or something weird happens.
Okay.
That's
like that. So he's seeing the flip side of things.
yeah, like in this movie there's two paths, and if you go grocery shopping, you can see the other path maybe, or it's scary there. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
I
how
like
how
this.
it works in a film, but I like that idea as a scene.
I see what you're saying. So it's someone who, whether he was cursed or has a gift or something, basically doesn't have free will. Kind of seems like he does, but every once in a while he'll make a decision and then it'll shift him out of that place. I'm going to take the exit on the left. Oh, traffic, evaporate, reappear on the exit on the right. No traffic, to work in 3 minutes instead of 3 hours. Something like that. Where
So it's almost like a do-over.
Right, a do-over, or again, it's seeing like the flip side of any decision. Whenever he comes to like a fork in the road in his life, a literal one or a metaphorical one, and is like, I'll do this. I won't go to dinner at Susie's house tonight. I'm going to stay in. All of a sudden, he's sitting at the end of the table laughing. Susie's rich uncle is there, offers him a job. Oh my God,
nice.
I'm glad I came to this dinner.
A little destiny, a little fate.
Exactly. So this gift that he has is kind of pushing him on what looks like a great life, a great path. He can't go wrong. He can do whatever he wants.
Both sides of the. I can see the flip side.
Exactly right. Who cares? Who needs free will when I'm right all the time, even if I'm wrong? So it seems like it's going great for him, but we gotta screw this guy over. We gotta dump a bunch of dung on his head
to make a happy movie. Because if that happened, you'd be like, man, I wish I could see the flip side.
Right.
Until if you watch to the end,
right?
Can we give him? Can we give the flip side a mechanic like an old coin or something? Maybe he found it after something terrible happened, and he flipped it, and
wife died.
He sees like, here's what would have happened if you didn't.
Right.
If you didn't make that left turn, your wife wouldn't have got hit by a drunk driver.
Yep.
And he's like, oh my God, what happened?
Yes. What do I do with this?
And then this turns into like a skill that he can kind of use and control.
So he's kind of cursed. He feels like a cursed man. He's lost the love of his life, but he has his ability to now never be wrong, kind of see the future maybe. Right. What does he do with that? Well, obviously uses it to his advantage, or so he thinks. And I'm imagining this path that in the near term looks great for whoever this dude is, takes him to a place that's not so great. He's got to make probably a pretty difficult choice the coin can't help him with, that ends up costing him dearly or something. Again, well, that's the fun part of the feature, to figure that out.
The mechanic would be like a genie, right? Great, but often there's a little bit of fine print. Here, it's like you can't use the coin and say like, is Apple gonna be worth more money next year?
None of that.
It's like, should I go left or should I go right? Should I have dinner out or should I have dinner at home? So it's not predictive, but it guides his short-term decisions.
Oh yeah.
And then I like the idea, and I like not expanding on it now, but yeah, towards the end, then there's a cost.
A huge cost
to all that insight. Just like Prometheus, right? Titan of foresight, gave the humans a bunch of stuff, paid a good price for it. Paid a good price for it. Didn't see that coming. Maybe he did. Maybe he was like, it's worth it. I won't die. I'll just hate life for a long time.
Oh boy. All right, this is cool. I like flip side. We can play with that and go a bunch of different ways and see what the heck happens to whatever poor soul we throw this through. But yeah, okay, cool.
All right, so we're on our fifth gear already. Looking for our fifth gear. Looking for beer number 5 tonight.
Here we go.
Okay, for beer number 5, we've got an epic one that's also a limited release once a year. Thanks for checking it in, Rhett. This one comes from Lagunitas, and it's called Born Yesterday.
Born Yesterday. born at night, but not last night, John.
Harrison just wants everyone to know he is a father.
That's right. Okay.
Wasn't born yesterday.
Love this beer. Love this name. We do a lot of things with this, and there's, but I feel like they're all, my initial thoughts, they're all just versions of like 50 First Dates or Encino Man, or, it's kind of the fish out of water story. I don't know what's going on. What's the internet? Oh boy, there's a lot of naked ladies on this laptop. what world have I stumbled into?
End of the movie.
I don't want to
blame
that.
him. I see what you're saying though. Like my first thought is like, how do we do 50 First Dates in the army or in an office? But there's nothing new happening there.
Right. Yeah. Can't make Memento again. So what else can we do with this? And there's this name, Born Yesterday. I think we could do something epic.
You want to
with
take it literally, don't you?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's have it be, oh boy, it could start with things that are born yesterday, babies, and we're in a maternity ward, and there's a nurse, and she's in the nursery with all the babies, and this is her job, and she's seeing all the day-old babies.
Just quick asterisk, maternity ward nurses.
Oh yeah,
much respect.
Of
that
course.
Sounds like a very difficult job.
It's a loud place.
Yeah. But 13 born yesterday. I am going to have a case of wine
during my break. Okay, so yeah, we're in this maternity ward, bunch of new babies, and one of the babies is different somehow, John. And my immediate thought is like, we have the movie Rosemary's Baby that goes all the way up to the baby being born, and then it ends lame. What's happening next? It wouldn't have to be a sequel to Rosemary's Baby, but my point being, if we're calling this thing Born Yesterday, there really is only a few things I can think of where it'd be a big deal when it is reborn onto planet Earth, and one of them would be the devil, or a demon at least.
Yeah, the difference between a devil and a demon is we experimented with the motivations of the heart, right?
Yeah.
Was that?
And Hustle is weird.
Hustle is weird.
Yeah. Lots of
similarities. So, we don't have to say it's the devil, but we can show that it's an evil,
creepy.
So
baby.
This baby's born. Maybe he's got like a little claw hand or something.
Absolutely.
Oh God. A little tail. Like maybe not quite so slapstick with it. But it's not red. It looks like a baby. Maybe it doesn't cry. But maybe like the nurse when she's reporting for her job the next day, we've already met her and we've seen what her life is like, and she comes into work the next day and the shift change is like, man, we had one born last night, and he's just like, I hate to say this, but it's a weird baby. Just
probably not
like gave me cold sweats every time I was near him.
Right.
And it was like, oh yeah, you two doubles. You need a rest. You're working like you're working like Brian. You're in your third double shift. Go home, take a rest. So, but she goes in and she sees this baby. Maybe he's got a deformity, but there's other things that happen. Maybe we just show it on camera.
Yeah, I don't think we see the baby, just the people's reaction to him, or they walk in the room and I don't feel so good. I need to sit down.
All the other like a big overhead shot. All the babies are crying and he's sitting in the middle, like
not crying,
just smiling.
Exactly right. And then maybe raises his little baby hand, and all the babies are silent. Whatever. We can have fun with it and make it creepy and weird. And so I like that this baby is impacting people emotionally, physically, just by kind of existing.
But I think instead of just being right on the nose with it, like, okay, devil baby, Rosemary baby, but being born, I want to mix it up for the viewer. And then maybe like her next shift, We see her come to work again, and someone's like, the weird baby's actually been moved into the NIC unit.
Okay.
And things aren't going so well. And she's like,
Got it.
oh my gosh. And, she goes and she looks at the baby and she feels like, she starts crying, and she's just like overwhelmed with joy and love for this baby. And she can't quite figure out why, but like we convey that this baby is giving off good vibes.
Right. And then the next day or later that day, maybe just other patients who are like in the hospice ward or whatever are for some reason coming up to that part of the hospital. I don't know. I just felt this feeling and I wanted to come up here, and I've never felt better. I feel like I can walk or whatever. People are like freaking out, attracted to this baby, and it can maybe ping pong back and forth. The next shift, creepy baby stuff. The next shift, bigger crowd for happy, joyful baby. And that's what we're seeing as the viewer. I like this.
Like my doctor said I'm in remission.
Right, exactly.
I sit up here with this NICU baby for 3 hours a day now, and I read to him. A little back and forth, but at some point it turns up a notch, and the version that we see, the devil demon baby, starts to, maybe there was an accident in the maternity ward last night. One of the nurses fell and stabbed herself 27 times with a scalpel.
Yep.
And like they're watching it on the security footage, and they're like, I just don't understand how she kept stabbing herself after she tripped. That looked pretty natural. And maybe as the viewer, we get a little shot of like this baby in there just like smiling and making a stab motion with his hand or something like that.
Or his little baby cart kind of moving a bit in the corner of the recording. Can't quite. Is that moving? Is that just an anomaly of the camera? You're right. Something that's inconclusive, but as the audience, you're like, it's that friggin' devil baby that's doing this to this lady.
And I thought he was so, and like by this point, I think as a viewer, you should be a little confused. I'm getting too into this. This is already almost a feature, but
no.
At some point, if we make this film, there's a reveal where you realize, I don't want to reveal it just in case, but at some point, if we end up making this a feature, then you learn something that is, if this is a movie, you wouldn't have suspected yet. And it kind of, it both ignites the movie forward and kind of, as you say, like, oh my God, there's like a flip side.
Right. This is what we're watching. Holy guacamole. It could be a pretty epic ending. So yeah, let's not reveal too much. I like this. I like Born Yesterday. It's got Bear Me That Movie written all of creepy babies. Let's do that. Why not?
So that's 5 into the Fast 5 with 1 user submitted beer. Thanks again, Daniel B. You want to do an ultimatum, Harrison?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do one. We can do one. We got some good ones tonight, but it's always good to rack one more on before we say, let's pick them.
Okay. So I'm going to flip through. We're going to look for one ultimatum tonight. For tonight's ultimatum, as if we haven't already given you a lot of good ideas, Brad checks in a beer from Ocelot Brewing Company called Dreamless.
Dreamless, a black IPA. Ooh, I dig that.
Dreamless. What happens when you get promoted to management.
Right, or have kids. I haven't had a dream in 10 years. It's just dark for a little bit. And
you have to sleep longer than 8 minutes to have a dream.
That's right. I haven't gotten a REM sleep in 10 years. Probably fine. I'm probably fine.
Ooh, Dreamless could be the title of the Martin Luther King documentary.
Oh, whoa. It could be, you're right.
At least,
intense.
Yeah, for the finish.
Whoa.
No spoilers, but
yeah.
Dreamless. It's almost the story of like it's almost the story of a lot of, I want to say breweries or small restaurants or like people that get into business for reasons other than running a successful business,
right?
With a good plan and team and idea. It's like the story of America. Dreamless, the American dream. I just want to make money selling rocks to kids. I make burgers.
Right.
No, you don't. You buy frozen burgers and you heat them up in a microwave and you sell them out of your truck.
Right.
For $18.
Powdered orange juice. Call it Tang. Okay. I see that. What if instead of it being the story of
Mediocrity.
mediocrity of doing stuff for $1, what if we set this in a time where money is all gone in the future, some apocalyptic world where something has happened and nobody can dream except for maybe one young girl,
Of course.
and she can not only dream but dream the future. And so she's with this band of misfits, rebels, whatever, who are escaping the bad, blah, blah, blah. We can figure that out. And, right, they're kind of using her to get out of these traps and mazes they keep getting thrown into, basically try to find their escape and their freedom and, whatever. A Hunger Games type movie, but it's all inside this girl's head, but she has to be dreaming to see it, which is kind of tough to make someone go to sleep when you're being chased by a bunch of monsters, because you need her to figure out how they're going to survive this one.
They've got like a machine hooked up to her that can
knock her
read
out.
her dreams.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of Benadryl they've harvested from.
That's the last bottle.
Yeah.
The last drop.
But that please, you need to go to sleep. Go to sleep. Or these monsters are chasing us.
Benadryl.
Do the pillow trick, Leroy.
This is my good pillow.
Yeah.
Not now. Just do it.
The monsters are gonna catch us if she doesn't tell us the way out of it.
Not too long.
I like that she's kind of like she's forced into this role.
Yes.
She's the only person that can dream. Maybe there's room to play around with like some of the guys think they had a dream sometimes,
Sure.
and it ends up not. But what were you dreaming about? It was really cold, and I had to pee, and I walked over there, and I peed. That's not a fucking dream.
You did that.
You
peed on the fire last night.
Yeah.
You jerk. Disgusting. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, so that's something that could work. Obviously, we build on it if we end up picking it. But that's a world without dreams, except for one.
So speaking of a world without dreams except one,
That's right.
The bad segue, but we've got to pick one. There it is. Of these 6 beers we've got tonight. And then Harrison and I are going to press record again and turn that into a feature film that you see next week. Now, what we have to choose from tonight, Harrison, because I am a religious note taker for the last 3 weeks of my life, are
Crack the code.
From Daniel B.
Yes.
Peter Panda.
That was a strong Flying Bears. I want to make that someday. Anyway, okay, what else?
We've got Gimme the Garbage.
Give me the garbage.
Woman loses her necklace, and there's a reward for finding garbage and some things. We've got Warhead, which was
Warbeard.
Warhead is okay. So I'm not a good note taker. It's mostly scribble, but Warbeard makes more sense. That's the Merkin warrior girl
that headbutts her way to victory and freedom and some other things.
Crush me with your beard so I can't breathe. It's the birth of cuckolding and
a lot of great stuff back in the day.
We got Flipside.
Ooh,
the cursed man that can see the future of his decisions. Born Yesterday. Story about a baby that's maybe an angel, maybe a demon.
Maybe something else.
And The Ultimatum, Dreamless. The story of a poor girl that's forced to sleep so guys can find their way through the wilderness. That's basically just a historical documentary of humans.
Right. Oh, man. All those poor witches. Okay. All right. These are good ones. A lot of fun stuff tonight, as always. This may be a quick decision, though. I think we both may know what was the most unfinished Fast Five this evening, which may be the one we want to finish as the feature.
Menstrual Warbeard.
That's the one.
No. Although that would be fun to actually
that would be amazing.
Think through in a longer period of time. Are you thinking of the one I'm thinking of, Harrison?
I hope so.
1, 2, 3.
Born yesterday.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
So that's it. Thanks, Lagunitas. And we're gonna work on turning that into a feature film. Thanks for watching Fast Five number 19. Can you believe we've done 19 of these already?
Lucky 19. I know. I can, I guess, although I'm bad at counting.
By math with ultimatums, we've easily gone through 100 different movie ideas.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Here's to the movies we didn't make.
That's right. And to you and to us. So until next time.
Peace.
Punch.
Give me your lunch.
Give me your war beer.
Give me your merkin.